Hi everyone, this is Pat Prokop, retired meteorologist, and today is Wednesday, July the 26th, and it's another hot one out there. But let's do a quick update on the tropical weather outlook right now. So let's get straight into it and let's go to the maps. And looking at the information from the National Hurricane Center, there you have this system right now over here around the Cape Verde Islands or Cabo Verde Islands, and it's expected to move off to the west-northwest over the next several days. So let's take a look at that. First of all, let's take a look at the satellite imagery. And there we can see that tropical wave that was first initialized a couple of days ago to the north of Puerto Rico, which is right over here. It has moved from here over to here. And it's not really showing any great development whatsoever. That other tropical wave that moved across the Lesser Antilles Islands has moved into the central Caribbean Sea. It is producing some showers and some gusty winds, but that's about all. Look at over here. There's some pretty good wind shear flowing in from Central America across the central to western Caribbean Sea. So that's detrimental for the formation of any tropical system. But further off to the west, or excuse me, further off to the east, there's that other system that we've been watching over the last couple of days. The computer models, some of them have been picking up on this, saying, yeah, this is going to develop into a tropical system, while others are saying, not just a tropical wave. So let's take a look at some of those models right now. And here we have the GFS, the Global Forecast System. That's the United States model. And let's put it into motion. Here's the initialization of that system right over here. And there's that wave in the Caribbean Sea and off the just to the north of the Bahamas right now. So let's put this into motion. You can see that wave in the Bahamas basically falls apart. That system in the Caribbean Sea doesn't do much either. It moves towards Central America, maybe producing some moderate to heavy rains out there. But this system over here, according to the GFS, tries to slowly develop into a tropical depression, possibly into a tropical storm. Next name on the list is Emily, and it shows a continuation of development of this storm, but it moves it north, well north of the Virgin Islands, and it curves it to the north. And remember a couple days ago, the ECMWF and the Canadian models both said, yeah, it's going to be a weak wave and it's going to curve off to the north, well east of the United States. Well, now the GFS is saying it's going to develop, but yeah, it's going to be well east of the United States. And looks like it's going to be just a fish storm, even moving to the east of Bermuda, pretty close to Bermuda at that. Bermuda is right over here. And it looks like it will be developing into a strong tropical system, maybe even a hurricane. And again, Emily's the next name on the list. But what about the other models? Of course, let's look at the Canadian Meteorological Center. They do pretty good with the tropical weather forecast. And looking at the motion there, it shows it developing somewhat more than it had the last couple of days. But it's sticking to its guns and saying, nah, it's going to curve to the north. Could become a tropical storm. Yes, indeed, according to this, and it moves just to the east of the area of Bermuda. And this is on a week from today, just about 7 days from now. Okay, let's look at the ECMWF. The information has just arrived. I was waiting for this model before I started cutting the video. And again, we're seeing it trying to develop over here. This is Thursday night, Friday morning, and then going throughout the day on Friday. You can see it's having its issue, its trouble. The ECMWF is really not doing much with it right now, and it's showing maybe a tropical depression, maybe a tropical storm, but that's about it. And keeps it as a weak tropical weather system. And it also moves it just to the east of Bermuda, but then it has it opening up as an open wave. So right now, as far as the tropics are concerned, nothing there to worry about. What should we worry about? Home. Temperatures, hot, particularly across the middle of the country now. Oh, it's hot here in Georgia and South Carolina, but it's supposed to be hot in Georgia and South Carolina. We're actually fairly close to normal. We're at about 92 degrees. 93 is normal high for this time of the year for us. But anyway, over here in the center portion of the country, you can see heat advisories in effect, and also for the Northeast, from the Mid-Atlantic coast all the way up across the New York, Philadelphia areas into Boston and over into Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine. They're expecting temperatures to be soared out there, and soared? very hot, soaring hot. Okay. And of course, the heat, excessive heat out in the southwest in Phoenix, Arizona, southwest Arizona, southern portions of the California area, and also up into the portions of the Snake River Valley into northern west portions of the Nevada area, and also extreme northern Montana. All right, let's take a look at the high temperatures for the next several days across the country, and it's going to be hot. Let me pull this over so we can see it all. This is from pivotalweather.com, and I have a link to that right there at the bottom of the screen in the description area. So if you want to take a look at their maps, they're pretty good. Pivotalweather.com. Anyway, temperatures in the hundreds across the Central Plains. St. Louis is going to be really hot throughout the day tomorrow. Even up in the Northeast, are getting into the 90s there in New York and Boston City area. And looking at the Southwest, of course, Phoenix, again, above 112 degrees. 110 degrees, it'll be at about 112 or so. That'll be the 27th today. Today is the 27th day in a row. Tomorrow will be 28. And then as we look ahead for the day on Friday, again above 110. Look for Phoenix, St. Louis above 100 degrees, and also in the upper to middle 90s across the New York City area into Boston. Even Detroit and Chicago are going to be sweltering out in those areas throughout the day. On Friday, going into the weekend, Saturday, another hot day, but not quite as hot in the Central Plains. Phoenix still above that 110 degree mark. However, looks like monsoonal rains will start falling into that area. New York City is still hot but cooling down. We're still in the 90s here, but that's normal for this time of the year for us. Low to middle 90s is for the high temperatures. And then as we look at the day on Sunday, the end of the weekend, still hot in the far northern plains, into the Central Plains, in the mid to upper 90s there, in the lower hundreds to upper 90s now across Kansas, still Oklahoma and Texas, very, very hot. But over in Phoenix, they might not get above 110. Their streak might be broken, which I'm sure they will be very jubilant about. They might be getting rain on Sunday. Anyway, that will give them, if it does hit 110 on Sunday, that'll give them 31 days in a row of 110 or above. So with that being said, let's take a look at the outlook forecast for the next 6 to 10 days, and we're seeing those values above normal across the lower Mississippi River Valley, way above normal. But look at this, off to the west-southwest, back to normal weather conditions, and below normal up in the northeast portion of the country. We're going to stay near normal or below normal rainfall here, above normal in the northwest portion of the country. So that's some good news, I guess. We need the rain. Speaking of rain, looking at the radar summary from late this afternoon in the greater Savannah area, we are seeing some widely scattered, isolated showers, one in and around the Tatnall County, Glenville, Reidsville area, pushing off toward the southwest. And that's about it. Another shower way off to the north, west of the Charleston area. And there's not much to these. Looking at the satellite imagery, there you can see those thunder showers up in the Charleston, South Carolina area, but that activity in Georgia, very widely scattered and not much to it whatsoever. And there you can see the sea breeze front here. That's clearing off the coastal counties. Yay, I might be able to open up my telescope tonight, and I'm making a video on what's up in the sky, and that's going to be out very, very shortly. And with that being said, you can get all this information right there on my website, SavannahPat.name, and you can also help support the page by buying me a cup of coffee. Yeah, I love my cup of coffee. Or go to my Patreon site and help support the station, the channel, if you would like. All voluntary. But anyway, you can get all this information on my website, SavannahPat.name. So I'm hoping for that clear sky tonight because I'm itching to look at the sky. I'm working on the North American Nebula and some other targets, and I got a lot of targets I want to show you what's available up in the nighttime sky, and the planets are becoming dominant, the supergiants as well, Saturn and Jupiter, among others. All right, with that being said, stay cool. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but we know how to do that here in the Southeast. See you later, right here on YouTube.